This is Mike Patrick. Thanks for watching, everybody. Now to the studio, John Saunders and Jay Billis.
Maryland in white. Duke wears their black road jerseys, in which they're 29-2. Those old blue jerseys are gone. They're 3-3 on the road with those.
Dick Boozer was looking down and wasn't ready for the tap. Wilcox, the better leaper anyway, but really had an advantage there.
Dixon with Williams, takes it to the hole and scores. Juan Dixon.
Juan had problems, as we know, against Jones in the first game this year.
Two Maryland players go down, and finally it's a 1-against-5, and Byron Mouton will pull it up.
Smart play, didn't have the numbers, get back and get organized.
Mouton for three, it's not there, and Boozer rebounds for Duke, and here come the Devils.
There'll be no hesitation by either of these clubs.
Jason Williams doesn't get the bounce, and Baxter has the rebound. Blake from the free throw line rattles out.
Good block out by Dunleavy. Dick, this is the interesting matchup now. Wilcox on Dunleavy. What Dunleavy will do immediately is to step outside, taking a great rebound with him. Here he is outside, and he has to hit that shot, or Wilcox will not have to go out that quickly on him. But
to go out on him, then he has the ability to put it on the floor and drive on.
Go by him. Yeah, that's a tough matchup.
Wilcox is fouled by Dunleavy.
Dixon going by Dante Jones, who did a tremendous job holding Dixon to the season low of 10 points in the first game.
Well, that was a tough shot on the run, and Chris Wilcox goes to the line. This talented sophomore from Whiteville, North Carolina, played his senior year at Enloe High in Raleigh. Makes it 3-0. He's 6'10", and we watched him yesterday, Billy. He had about 5 in a row from 40-foot range.
Well, not where obviously Gary Williams would want him to be shooting in this game today, but what he showed me, it's interesting how you see that in practice, is he does have the ability to step out there as a future player and shoot that shot.
Maryland with the early lead, 4-0.
Here's that solid screen for Jason Williams, who likes to split that anytime somebody hedges against him.
Tay Jones inside, batted away, and Baxter tips it to Wilcox.
Maryland will have an advantage on the boards against Duke, and that has been true just about every time they play against each other.
Baxter.
Where they do have a problem is turning the ball over.
Tried to feed it inside. Last touch by Dunleavy and Boozer of Duke.
Now we take the matchup on the other end of the floor, and Dunleavy shows his versatility by being able to play in the low post defensively against the likes of Wilcox.
Mouton left alone sends Maryland to a 6-0 start.
Mouton did not have a big game against Duke when they first played, but he has been on a tear of late.
In the last 5 games, Mouton averaging 16.5 points per game.
Blake does a pretty good job against Jason Williams' crossover dribble.
Batted away by Dixon, and the steal by Dixon, who leads his team once again in thefts. Blake for 3. And that really would have had this Maryland crowd going crazy, and a foul is called on Baxter of the Terrapins.
There you see again Dunleavy, who has grown to about 6'9.5", 6'10", being able to go up against a Baxter who's one of the nation's premier rebounders.
We played 2.5 minutes, and the Duke Blue Devils are 0 for 5 shooting.
And the number 2 scoring team in the country is Duke, having problems.
Second to Kansas.
There is Blake sitting right down on Jason's penetrating dribble. Can't stop him.
And that's what Williams did in game 1 down in Durham when he scored 34. He took the ball inside with very regular effectiveness.
34 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists in that game. Came up huge. There's a hold on Jones, trying to keep Dixon from coming off the screen.
A look at the standings in the Atlantic Coast Conference. If Maryland should win, they'd move a half game in front of Duke. Duke number 1 most of this season. Maryland in its history has never been ranked number 1 as the top college basketball team. They could with a win today. And Byron Mouton hits another jumper, and the lead is back to 6.
Maryland has been #2 more than any team in the country that has also never been #1. So obviously it'd be quite an accomplishment.
Dunleavy for three. Not there. Baxter rips down the rebound, and here comes Blake.
Wilcox does a good job going up against that jump shot and then breaking down floor.
Mouton can't make it 3 in a row, and Dunleavy collects for Duke.
Duke has had some pretty open looks for Dunleavy, who has a tendency to be a guy that scores in streaks.
Boozer and a steal by Mouton. No advantage here. Blake inside to Wilcox.
And there's the case. Wilcox really running the floor beautifully. The last time down the court he didn't get the ball. Mike Krzyzewski says he wants to see Dunleavy get some kind of shot here. Double screen up top for Jason Williams. Probably going to be a step out for Dunleavy on a jump shot.
Williams dumps it off to Dunleavy, and Dunleavy connects.
Good set play that time by Duke. Duke is not a team that runs a lot of set offense. As Mike Krzyzewski says, we don't coach an offense, we coach offense. But that was a set play.
Inside Wilcox. He has 6, and it's 12-4 Terrapins. 4.5 into the game.
Wilcox last year was coming off the bench, was a no factor in games against Duke, but he's come up big this year as one of the premier players in the league.
Duhan can't connect on his three-point try, and Blake brings it in for Maryland. Dixon feeds Baxter. Double team. Oh, Wilcox had to go off his hands and try to save by Mouton. It goes out of bounds to Duke.
Wise decision by Duhan not to try to reach for that ball and lose it.
Timeout. Nearly 5 minutes played, and the fans here in Maryland cheer a 12-4 lead.
Called by Mike Krzyzewski as they came up the court. Dunleavy will set the screen. Jason Williams, of course, capable of doing anything, coming over the top, even breaking through at times. But what we're going to see right here, they're trying to get this set up so that Dunleavy can step outside and shoot the jumper. What happens, however, is that there is no good play by Maryland, and so Dunleavy sees the hole right down to the middle. Good job by Jason Williams to recognize what was available. Two guys reacting what the defense gave them. 2 points for Dunleavy.
Of a version of pick and roll, and Williams and Boozer worked that so effectively earlier this week against North Carolina State.
Duke will do that sometimes where Boozer comes up and they set a double screen up high for Jason Williams.
12-4. Maryland leads. The Terrapins have not lost at home this year. They're 12-0. Boozer inside with the left hand. Dunleavy with a tap. It's 12-6. Dunleavy with 4.
Randall in the game giving Baxter a little blow. Randall played extremely well against Duke in the first game. A junior college transfer is coming on strong.
Ryan Randall's shot missed, and Wilcox nearly with a spectacular follow.
Great job by Maryland getting back, knowing Williams wants to launch that jump shot.
And Dunleavy from 3, and it's a 12-9 game as Dunleavy leads all scorers with 7.
Kind of interesting. It's the first time Wilcox wasn't on him. He shot against the quicker man and got the three-point shot off.
Dixon. And Boozer rebounds for Duke.
Dixon had problems getting that short jumper to fall against Georgia Tech the other night. He has got to hit his jump shot.
Duhan running the show. Both guards, Jason Williams and Chris Duhan, can play 1 or 2, and whoever has the ball is the point guard. It works out that simply as Dante Jones back outside to Williams, who fires from 3.
Good job by Blake. He altered that shot.
And Randall has it taken away by Boozer. Blake comes in to steal it for Maryland.
Boy, you don't see many people take the ball away from Carlos Boozer when he has it with 2 hands.
Mouton for 2. And Randall over the back will pick up the foul.
Dunleavy has played extremely big in this game so far. Here you'll see the tip in, no block out there because Randall had just come into the game, tried to double team down on the inside. He and Wilcox, nobody blocking out Dunleavy. And on the other end of the floor, Dunleavy has really been a terror on the defensive glass. Ewing in the game now. Jones sits down.
And for Maryland, Taj Holden, number 45, makes his first appearance.
You'd have to give advantage Maryland in terms of being able to come with size into the game off the bench.
Maryland does have the advantage in depth. Ewing, the freshman, not there, and Blake with another rebound. Ahead to Dixon.
Ewing, a terrific game the other night against NC State. Gives Mike Krzyzewski plenty of confidence coming off that bench at the guard spot.
Duhan, an excellent defender, hawking Blake outside. Blake Back to Randall. Nice little give and go.
Holden has great hands, Dick, on the inside. And now they've got kind of like the Twin Towers with Holden and Randall on in there together.
Holden's first basket. It's 14-9.
And one of the things that this also does for Gary Williams, it allows some fouls to be committed. Randall's going to sit down. A terrific job on his part. Gives Baxter not only a little rest, but keeps Boozer occupied. Boozer out, Horvath in. Mike Krzyzewski realizing what's happening early in this game and the fact that he's going to have to rest Boozer a little bit, the way that Maryland's going to rotate their big man.
Duke with 3 turnovers. Dixon tries
Beautiful
to feed
feed.
inside. Blocked. Followed by Holden. And a foul.
Dick, last year in games against Duke, Holden was 5 for 10, 14 and 7 in one game, 2 for 2, 7 in another, 3 for 3, 10 in another. He played extremely well, and I'm sure Gary Williams recognized this. He made his mark in an outstanding performance against Stanford that led Maryland into the Final Four.
Nick Horvath with his first foul, and at the line, Taj Holden, the 6'10 junior from Red Bank, New Jersey, a muscle guy inside, and yet he has the touch to hit the threes outside.
Absolutely, an excellent shooter. Doesn't mind taking that shot as well. Last year made 12 of 25 threes.
And with 12.5 minutes remaining in this opening half, Maryland back up by 7. Williams running on Blake, and the rebound to Lonnie Baxter.
Great job of moving his feet for Blake.
Dixon, not there.
Ewing skied for that rebound as a guard.
Dunleavy has had the hot hand, and a travel called as he made his spin move and a hesitation trying to pass. Well, the Blue Devils second to the Jayhawks of Kansas in scoring power, with TCU, Oregon, and Florida completing the top 5.
That's not unfamiliar territory for Duke University.
There's the travel by Dixon.
Turnover by Dixon with Williams on him. So far, Blake has just been outstanding defensively, both on Jason Williams. He's going to take, I thought he was going to take a little blow. Dixon comes out, Mouton in. Blake, of course, really gave Jason Williams a tough game until that last minute last year at this place when Blake fouled out. That really enabled Duke University to come back and win the game.
Dunleavy with Holden on him.
He thinks he can take Holden off the dribble.
Ewing and Mouton. Dunleavy. The freshman, Ewing. Nice move. 16-11 as he has his first point. Daniel Ewing from Missouri City, Texas, near Houston.
Played with TJ Ford, a freshman who's leading the nation in assists this year. Could be the first ever. Could you imagine that backcourt?
Oh.
2 straight 5A Texas championships.
Holden caught in midair. Here come the Blue Devils. Dunleavy fires from 3 and hits again. It's 16-14 as Duke is as close as they've been in this first half, led by Dunleavy, who leads all scorers with 10. 11:09 left. Opening half. Lead once 8 is down to 2, and let's take a look at the top 3 teams in the nation. Only 6 losses combined from those 3 teams.
Ball State, a club that obviously got Kansas off to that rocky start. That could have been considered goaltending. Jones was really up there. Questionable call.
Dunleavy feeling it, leading all scorers. Jason Williams being given a breather at the moment as Dunleavy a little off balance this time. Mouton is fouled by Dante Jones.
What Dunleavy feels right now is that Holden is not quick enough to stay with him in the half court, so he's looking for his shot.
Williams arguing for the goaltend as we take a timeout. Campus of the University of Maryland. There again is that graphic. Duke losing to Florida State by 1. Ball State leads their division of the MAC. UCLA a top team. Maryland losing to 3 top 10 teams.
How about that? Ball State has beaten both Kansas and UCLA, so obviously sets them well. And Dick, when you think about stats about this program that Duke has, in the last 22 games they've played against teams where both of them were in the top 10, Duke has won 18. 18 of 22 games against that kind of competition.
And there's a defensive play by the Blue Devils and a chance to tie.